You are in for a treat today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the all-new Vengance 420 V12 here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And there is nothing else like it. And that's a bold statement. But when you hear some RVs talk about a fifth wheel bedroom master suite, they have no idea what they're talking about. This redefines what a fifth wheel bedroom master suite is. And I bet you, within 1 or 2 years, you will see the bedroom in this RV duplicated and cloned in luxury fifth wheel brands across the board. This is absolutely awesome, and it's a game changer. If at any point you want to learn more about it, like price tags, or you're looking for details and specs, like I happen to know this weighs 13,440, I just looked at the weight tag. You want to look up the tank capacities and links and stuff like that, right down here for you folks on YouTube, which is most of you, I've got a link in the video description that will whisk you away right to where we have this thing listed with full specs, provided we have it in stock. We only advertise what we have in stock, and we do advertise pricing with the RV in stocks equipment complement. Like you see down here, we added a generator. That's a couple thousand right there. The next one we have in stock, because this will sell quickly, may not have that. So understand that what you're looking at is not necessarily the RV I have in stock. It's an example of how they can come, so keep that in mind. Who is Vengance? Why would you consider this brand, this floor plan, my dealership? Those are the items I want to tackle here, because there's lots of different RV dealers. There's lots of different RV brands. So what is it about this unique mix of things that should appear attractive to you? First of all, not a lot of guys go out of their way in sub-zero temperatures with the wind chill today to give you nice handy little educational video tours like this. So understand that service is the cornerstone of our dealership. More to the point of the Vengance here, it does a lot of things very well. You see, you've got a good pass-through storage compartment here. The eye candy, the eye appeal we have going on here is vastly superior to anything they've ever produced out of Vengance in years past. They made this thing look as good as they've always performed. Laminated aluminum framed walls, tongue and groove plywood floor decking, a 1-inch thick cargo deck floor, with enclosed, insulated, heated underbelly in the living cabin. You cannot enclose, insulate, heat the, you can't enclose basically the garage area of an RV if there's a fuel cell without making some sort of wonky special accommodations. There's one manufacturer out there that's going to land themselves in a lawsuit if they don't quit building the way they build. You got to look out for stuff like this. It's a fire hazard. Beautiful. I love the look of this. I don't know, grays and blues. The accents, the color pattern on here, the big difference in the eye candy appeal, because structurally the coach is essentially identical to how it was last year, and that's a good thing. They basically got a lady designer. They stopped having salesmen design the look of these things. They had a lady who can, you know, actually put colors together, put this thing in here. So shoot, I always forget to turn on the nose lights. It says a really aggressive nose lighting package. You've got the twin strips that run along the V, then you've got accent strips here. And you notice this interesting little airfoil sort of design on the nose cap. They're not even shy about it. It was accidental, but what they found is that does help with towing, because it actually acts like a spoiler system. You know, you see cars whipping around real fast. Well, this thing catches a lot of wind, and it actually channels the wind in a way that helps it be a little more efficient. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to get 6 more miles per gallon, but it does help with road tracking a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, we did upgrade, and we went bananas on this thing. We saw this floor plan and went, oh, this is something special. We added the generator. You've got hydraulic, automatic leveling on here. I mean, this is something that they've always done, but something I like to talk about is these seal gripping slide walls on here. You see that rough texture on the slide wall? Well, it pulls that slide seal very tight so that you get a clean wipe in or a clean wipe out. And what that means is that you don't have a crimped seal, which is a potential leak point. I mentioned enclosed, heated, insulated belly down here. Something I like to point out is the detail stuff. These guys understand camping. They include a handy little hose caddy right here, because you probably don't want to mix your sewer stuff with your freshwater stuff and your camping stuff. Those are stuff that don't need to go together. And they understand and they accommodate for that here. Just a handy little thing. This is a triaxle. She has a big cargo carrying capacity, and this does ride on an equal flex suspension system. You've got rubber vertical shock dampeners in there so that when this thing hits the road, it dampens the shocks that, you know, the wheels might go like this, but the body kind of goes real slightly. What that means is that the whole body, the chassis, your toys in there, your cups and your bowls in the cupboards, they don't get jostled around near as hard. They get just sort of lightly bumped around. It's manageable. Stuff like that is one of the, these things, your upgraded suspensions on fifth wheels, they drastically help improve the longevity of an RV. Neat thing with Vengance, one of their points of pride, any fifth wheel or trailer they make with a fuel station, they are either indisputably the largest fuel holding cell or tied for the largest. There is no one with a larger fuel cell. They recently transitioned over to the always on side mount ladder, which is just, it's so much handier than having to take a ladder and store it in your garage and strap it down. It's just, it's better, smarter, easier. The very popular Patio party deck, if the alliteration, doesn't consume me here. It is an outstanding feature. It's become virtually industry standard. There's different ratings on different doors in the business. Vengeance's have it's rated for 1,500 pounds in the up deck position, or when it's in the load position, 3,000 pound load rating. Now notice, this is a finite detail thing here that's easy to miss. You see how they added this second awning right here? You can actually see the break in the awning arms, but they bump right up next to each other. There's like no break in your awning space, but if they went with their normal awning, it would have fell short of that door. They said, that's unacceptable. We need to extend the awning. Well, they already had like a 21-foot awning on this. They said, okay, we can't do that. Let's put a dedicated garage awning on here. But what's neat is what they kind of created, because you've got your outside TV hookups right there, they kind of created a separate private rear entertainment area back here. Now, I've had some people say, I don't know, I feel like that slide's eating up my awning space. I have pictures of an RV with the slides out. Below an awning like that, it goes out like another 10 feet past. There's plenty of patio space there for a picnic table and chairs and all that good stuff. Let me hop upstairs here. I like the easy set patio system they're using on here too. I've had some people ask me, well, how do you load? How do you load with those things? How are they out of the way? Well, they can support their own weight. So when the ramp is down, these things you fold out over into negative space. They can just hang out in thin air. Their hinges are made for that. It's heavy duty hinging so that it can support the weight of, and not to mention these things they're not heavy. It's mostly screen. You look at this and visibly you see a wall, but it's mesh. It's not heavy, guys, so it's not a big deal. Stepping up here, most fifth wheel most toy haulers, period, true toy haulers, have the Happy Jack bed and sofa combination system. I won't get into that in too much depth because that's pretty standard, but suffice to say, this is what makes the RV multifunctional. If you want to convert this into a bunkhouse, you can have a top bunk and a lower bunk. If you want to turn it into a second rear living room in a sense, you can leave the bed up and you can leave twin sofas down. There's a floating table somewhere that it's probably under the master bed I didn't pull out. So there's a table that can come with this thing. This is dovetailed for easy loading, so that really eases the angle of attack. I left that carpet rolled up so you can kind of see that. Multiple recessed 5,000 pound rated D-rings back here. I've seen some D-rings as little as 1,500 pounds in the toy hauler business. That's not enough. These are bolted directly to steel plates that are welded to the frame itself. The actual I-beam chassis is what you're logging into with these steel plates on here. It's pretty impressive stuff. They're not going anywhere. That I'm not even worried about. Little blackout window shades. If you're using this like a bunkhouse, you want the privacy, you can block the sun out of there. Or if you get toys in here going down the road, you don't want people being nosy, don't worry about it, they can't get in there. Now, something I should have talked about up front, and I should back up here a step as much as I can without falling off the patio deck. Although the other dealers that watch my videos, they'd probably laugh at that. I don't think they realize how much I'm aware that they watch and share my videos, even within their own dealerships. That should tell you something, guys. Other dealerships literally play our dealership's video tours in their places to learn about product, because the average guy in this business doesn't know. But what I was getting at, I got the sidetrack there. This is a true toy hauler. It's 102-inch wide body, maximum width. There are 100-inch still wide body coaches out there. The difference in that extra 2 inches is important though, because when you start sneaking this stuff inward, if you have like twin full dressers, you want to park them side by side, if it's not 102-inch, it gets real sketchy, it gets real tough. So if you see a fifth wheel toy hauler out there that is $1 less or £1 less, chances are there's physically less trailer there. Oh, I got the lock. I forgot to mention there's a lock in place so that these things can't bounce and roll around too. You have to disengage it to do that. And then you can re-engage it. Neat thing over here, washer dryer hookups next to your entertainment center. I'm not necessarily saying it's neat that they're next to one another, but it's neat that you have both an entertainment center and washer dryer hookups back here. So if you're gonna live in it, that's the thing. The name toy hauler, I wish they'd get rid of it, but they're never going to. You're never going to change the market mindset on that. A toy hauler sounds like a garage that you sleep in. This is a beautiful fifth wheel that happens to have a garage on the back. There is a critical difference here. Beautiful walk-through middle bathroom, and I don't think the world's tallest man in history would ever hit their head on the ceiling in here because it's a lower deck fifth wheel. But having the middle bathroom right here, which is not an unheard of thing in the world, but you don't tend to see it a lot in fifth wheel toy haulers. But when you see the upstairs, you'll understand why they put the bathroom back here. But if you are going to use this like an alternative bunkhouse, a centralized bathroom is great because the kids can come and go, you can come and go, or guests or whoever, and nobody ever bothers anybody. That's what's nice about this. So, great linen space in here too, and if you take a look, they are fairly deep. If I stick my hand in there, you can see that you can actually get folded towels in here. Let me back up. I'm actually going to stand in the shower to give you a nice shot. We've got excellent space in here, excellent floor space, so that when you get out of the shower, you can actually get dressed without having to take your naked backside into the living room. Unless you live at a clothing optional resort, and then you probably don't care. Let's step into the living room here. Beautiful living space. You know what I like about this living room is that it has a normal super slide. A lot of fifth wheel toy haulers have that 4-seater party couch. The reason they do that is because the slide is not long enough to have a traditional dinette sofa complement. You don't have that problem here. That's one of my very favorite things about a Vengeance is that when you start looking around, it just looks like a nice fifth wheel in here. It doesn't have that motocross extreme toy hauler look to it. It's just a fifth wheel, you know? And again, that's what I like about this. It's a fifth wheel with a multi-function 3 seasons room off the back. You can park toys in it. You can park kids in it. You can turn it into a screened-in 3 seasons room. You know, you can do anything you want with it. Now, the kitchen here is actually very impressive. So you've got a big floor-to-ceiling pantry over there and great overhead cabinet space. Now, notice the placement of that TV. When you're sitting on this little sort of like love seat right here, you are on Boardwalk and Park Place. And who cares if somebody walks in the door? You don't break your line of sight on this. You don't have that problem. And if I kick my feet up like this over here, if I start reclining, I'm not going to lie, I tried it out. It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And I really like how so many manufacturers, when they look at the slide fascia, they say, that's a box. We can't have things that stick outside of the box. Well, why not? I mean, why can't you have the TV stick outside of the box a little bit? It works just fine. All the little indirect accent lights, there's 3 or 4 separate indirect accent lights in here. They work, 1, they look neat, but 2, they're the perfect night light. So again, if you're going to make that late night trip from the bathroom from upstairs, you've got lighting here, lighting up there, extra indirect lights up here. You can see through the living room without tripping on stuff, but without being blinded by the light, which is a song, and I'm not going to sing it. The Peninsula countertop here, I like how they did this instead of an island. I've been in a lot of RVs in my career here, quite a few. And the one thing I can tell you, when you have opposing slide outs like this, the island is the first thing most manufacturers go to. But it's actually starting to get phased out more for peninsulas. There's a problem with the island. It's always in the flipping way. It's always in the way. For some reason, mentally, when there's a peninsula, you just walk around it. It doesn't seem to bother you. Not to mention, you get more countertops and more cabinet space with a peninsula than an island. You know 2 things you never get too much of in any RV? You guessed it, countertops and cabinet space. Why not get as much as you can? They did such a good job of that here. The refrigerator does have it's a residential, electric only, does have a 1,000-watt inverter, so you can keep it cold going down the road. Not to mention these residential fridges actually have better insulation built into them than a RV fridge, so they main temp very easily. The stovetop is even recessed. You have maximum prep space here. We got power outlets right there next to the window. We've got power outlets over here. There's more on the side of the countertop. There are plenty of appliance outlets in this kitchen. And that's a convection microwave. And I love that they put a convection microwave down here instead of an oven. Very few people actually use an oven. But that overhead cabinet space, everybody will find use for that thing. I need to start shutting some lights off here. My battery's getting drained on me. There we go. Moving upstairs. Now this, I'm telling you, this is where there's nothing else like it. There are some other fifth wheels that have a similar living room, but there is absolutely nothing else like this over here. This is a true bedroom master suite. And you're looking at it right now going, whatever, I've seen this before. But notice how I'm able to give you this nice, big, wide-angle shot right here. I don't use camera tricks. I don't use, fisheye lenses and stuff like that. This has a giant bedroom that I can stand in. First of all, massive window over here. Plenty of lighting. Another cross breeze window over there that we'll get to in just a minute when I turn for you. But look at all this floor space. This has a second living room in a sense, or a third depending on how you count the rear room. But before we get there, both sides of the bed have stands with both USB and residential outlets. This is a 50 amp coach. We will tend to put the second air on most of these. You have all kinds of storage capacity right here. Big closet. And not only do you have the cross breeze window, but you have the giant mirrors up here with all kinds of dresser drawer space. Now, this is where it gets super interesting. When I flip around, you start to see that this is a bedroom super slide. And look at what we've got over here. We've got a handy little private front seating room with its own entertainment, with its own electric space heating fireplace. This is a one-of-a-kind, ladies and gentlemen. It is a rare unicorn in the business. Most of the time, I tell people, find the floor plan you like first, because floor plans are not generally unique to manufacture. This is one of those models that makes me say generally instead of always. They have just done, this is awesome. They came out with this, and we had already placed our big order for the year, and they said, no, guys, you got to come see this prototype we just made here. We looked at it and went, oh my God, get us one as soon as you can. This thing is absolutely stellar. This is incredible. There's nothing else like it out there. Absolutely fantastic concept. If you're having a big, loud day, someone needs to kind of retreat, to reset, or just rest, or maybe you're a couple who tends to go to bed at different times at night. Anything like that, this is so awesome. You have a true private bedroom master suite, super slide, second living room, however you want to slice it. It tastes pretty good. So give us a call, learn more, whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, financing, trades, accessories, or everything in between. We do truck and trailer package deals. If you need the 3/4 1-ton truck to pull this, guess what? We do that too. We only do everything so that you don't have to. Who said that? Scrubbing bubbles? We do the hard work so you don't have to? Ah, crap. Now I'm ripping off the scrubbing bubbles guy. Maybe I said it different enough. I won't get sued. So give us a call, 800-256-5196. Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.